Every morning and every evening, I log on to the shul's Zoom account to lead Minyan. Of course, before the coronavirus pandemic and before our sheltering-in-place orders, I would start every morning by leading Minyan right here in the Fomberg Family Chapel, and I would also be present on some evenings for evening Minyan. And while there were times we struggled to get a Minyan when we were in person, I have this pit in my stomach every time I log on to Zoom. I am nervous even more that nobody will log on. And every day, twice a day, I am overwhelmed with joy when I see everybody logging in. I'm proud to say that our Minyan, because of our congregants who attend, has been very resilient, and we have not missed making a Minyan, and then even had more people than that since we began these online Minyanim back in March. This is nothing to be taken for granted. In fact, we have had several visitors to our Minyan from across the country and from Canada who report to me that many others' communities' online Minyanim are no longer functioning, and they were glad to have found ours. One of the things that makes me so nervous each time I log on to the Minyan is that because it is not some flashy program, because it happens so very often, twice a day, every day, maybe this is the time that nobody wants to log on with me, and therefore we will not have enough people. As for me, I have always found a particularly strong connection to the little things in Judaism that we do on a daily basis, the seemingly mundane things that we are supposed to do over and over and over again. Yes, the daily rituals. This week we read Parshat Behalotcha. In the previous two Parshiot, Bamidbar and Naso, the Israelites take a census and prepare for their upcoming journey from Sinai into the land of Israel. This week, the final preparations are ordered and executed, and the departure from Sinai begins. Aaron, Moses' brother, and the Kohen Gadol, the high priest, lights the lamp for the Mishkan. The entire tribe of Levi is purified. Offerings made and their service for maintenance of the Mishkan begins. Final instructions for observing Pesach under these new conditions, and remember, they were not leaving Egypt anymore, nor had they arrived in the land of Israel, were offered, including the case of coming into a contact with the deceased and becoming spiritually impure, thereby leading to a second chance of Pesach Sheni, a second chance to observe Pesach. The narrative tells us the manner in which the children of Israel traveled, sheltered by a cloud during the day and protected by a pillar of fire at night. Then the complaining begins. They complain about the man. They complain about the food. They complain about Moshe's leadership. Moshe's sister complains about Moshe's wife. In the first few verses, from which the Parsha gets its name, Behalotcha, they seem rather disconnected from the rest of the narrative. Rather, these first few verses seem more connected to the previous Parsha that discussed the various responsibilities of each Levi family and the gifts brought by the 12 tribal princes. Left out of last week's Parsha is the specific role of Aaron and his family. So Aaron is given the job to light the menorah, the Ner Tamid, the eternal light, every day. Visually, it appears that Aaron turns on the lights of the Mishkan, the mobile worship station that was central to the Israelites' social organization and theological practices. Imagine the boss arriving so early that he or she is the one who turns on the lights every morning. And according to the Talmud in Menachot, Tractate Menachot, Aaron didn't just light the menorah. He had to clean out the 7 lamps every morning prior to lighting the lamps. He would have to lean it over to clean it and stand the menorah back up prior to lighting it. Every morning, cleaning the lamp and lighting the menorah was his first activity. So it is interesting to note that the word the Torah uses to describe this process, because normally the Hebrew word for kindling a light or lighting a lamp is lehadlik. On Shabbat and on holidays, when candles are lit, we're all familiar with the blessing. We use the words lehadlik ner shel Shabbat, lehadlik ner shel Yom Tov. So why does the Torah use behalotcha? Literally meaning when you raise up the lamps. The Or HaChaim, an 18th century Moroccan commentator, explains, that the process of removing the lamps, cleaning them out, reassembling the lamps on the main stem, putting the lamp back into the upright position, and finally lighting it is tantamount to building a new menorah every day. 6 branches, 3 on either side of the trunk, bent towards the middle flame, were lit every day, reminding Aaron and all who entered into the Mishkan that there was one source of spiritual light. Perhaps the entire process, the awareness which occurred on an everyday basis, was much more than striking a match and lighting a wick. Instead, Aaron became aware that everything he did on a daily basis was really about elevating his soul. After relating the instructions regarding the menorah that Moshe was to give over to Aaron, the Torah then proceeds to tell us that Aaron did so. He mounted the lamps at the front of the lampstand as the Lord had commanded Moses. This verse also bothered the commentators, who were obsessed with every word in the Torah being important, special, and unique. Why is this verse necessary? Aaron did as he was instructed. Of course Aaron did as he was instructed. These instructions were coming straight from God through Moses. Rashi tells us, quoting the Sifri, that this is stated in order to tell the praise of Aaron, that he did not deviate from God's command. Elaborating on this, the Vilna Gaon says, day after day, year after year, Aaron's attitude never changed. His work never became routine or boring. He approached each day with the same sense of reverence he brought to his first day. How wonderful would it be to approach a task that we perform every day, but rather than seeing it as a mundane task, see it as an opportunity for renewal, an opportunity to find new meaning, to learn something new. Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel famously said, our goal should be to live life in radical amazement, to get up in the morning and look at the world in a way that takes nothing for granted. Everything is phenomenal. Everything is incredible. Never treat life casually. To be spiritual is to be amazed. And you know, this is so much of what our daily rituals are about. To wake up in the morning and recite Modeh, thanking God for another day granted to me to behalotcha, to raise up. To live our lives through a lens where we specifically look for blessings to recite, because we have so many blessings in our lives. And if you really look in our Siddur, you will see that the rabbis have prescribed so many blessings for us to say. If you have never done so, open up the weekday Siddur Sim Shalom to pages 222 through 225 and see that there is a blessing upon seeing a rainbow, upon seeing an ocean, upon seeing trees bloom for the first time each year, upon seeing things of striking beauty, and yes, even seeing unusual creatures, among many other blessings. There are even blessings for seemingly mundane things, such as wearing new clothes for the first time. To live your life through the lens of looking for things upon which you can say a blessing, that is to live in radical amazement. That is what it means to bring a special, renewed meaning to every single day. And this is what I love about seeing all the people at Minyan every day. Each one of them is there to elevate their day. Some are there to remember a loved one, and as we say in the El Malei Rachamim, the memorial prayer, to ensure that the memory of their loved ones endures as an inspiration for commitment to their ideals and integrity in their lives. Hold on. Some are there, sorry, I turned to the wrong page. Some are there to give comfort to those mourners, because that is what community does, and they were once on the receiving end. Some come to daven and thank God for all the amazing gifts bestowed on us in this world, and to pledge ourselves to bestowing these gifts onto others. Whatever their motivation, they are present day in and day out. Vaya'as Ken Aharon, and Aaron did so every day as if it were the first. When we instill meaning into our daily existence, it does not get old. It gets renewed. In just a few minutes, we'll conclude our Torah service by singing Eitz Chaim Hi, which concludes, Hashivenu Adonai Alecha v'nashuva chadesh yameinu kekedem. Help us turn to you, Adonai, and we shall return. Renew our lives as in the days of old. Renew our lives. We have the opportunity to renew our lives every day if we choose to see our tasks as Aaron saw his, infusing our days with meaning so that they never grow old. On a personal note, I have to say that today is June 13th, which marks the anniversary, the date 16 years ago that Shelley and I got married. And the amazement that we carry forward every day, renewing ourselves to each other every day, is something that lifts me up beyond measure, just as I am lifted so much by seeing everybody who comes to join in me with our daily rituals day in and day out.